Good afternoon. Assume you are on a plane about to skydive. How would you react? Would you be worried? Would you be glad? I would be worried. I'd say, not in a million years, I'm not jumping off this plane. And that's exactly what I did when I said I wanted to go play nationals for India at the age of 37. People looked at me and they said, "Are you crazy? What are you trying to do here?" And then I said, why not? Let me take the first step. That's exactly where this started as a journey for me. And years before, I actually did this in business, which was where I was very, very comfortable in a corporate job in Bank of America. And anyone would say, why would you want to leave something like that? And I said, no, I'm not very happy with what I'm doing. And someone said, this guy is out of his mind. And I said, okay, let me go ahead and give it a shot. And that's where I said, I will leave the boardroom and actually go and do something with the real India. And where I said, I'll do something in renewable energy, I'll do something in LED lighting, I'll do something which will actually bring light to the lightless. A lot of people laughed at me, but that's where life actually became a little different. I did not know anything about solar energy. I was literally Googling, what is going on. And that's where, a lot of people must be thinking, oh, is Google even a thing? Back then it was. And then I actually learned how this was happening. I don't know how many times we failed. I did not count. And I said, why not? I woke up every single day and again took the first step. We exited that company, and that's where I actually made some money out of it. And that's when it started getting very exciting. And in all this, I also got on the Forbes Global CEO list. And people were like, who's this guy? And then this is where I was asking myself, saying, who are you? Only because of one thing where I said I took the first step. After that, I moved into something else, which was in pharmaceuticals, where I said, how is it that you can scale a company from 100 crores to further? That's when it shook my foundation, of a traditional model when we had a fire accident, which pretty much gutted one of our factories. And it wasn't an easy sight. And in 2018, I was able to sell that company as well. And 2018 is when I started what I do right now, which is to build a pharmaceutical company without actually owning a factory. People were like, are you sure? Hari, are you dreaming? Are you really, really great, at thinking that you can pull this off? I was like, why not? But when I look back at it, now I realize that this is what we've been actually building. Fast forward to 2025, we're a little short of $100 million in terms of sales without actually owning a single manufacturing site. Where we've said we've built India's first virtual pharmaceutical company, which actually caters to the world across, around the place. Now let's just go back to badminton a little. When I showed up on the stage at 37, my partner was 10 years younger to me, and he used to call me, in the South Indian lingo as they say, he used to call me Anna, for the lack of a better word, because he couldn't call me uncle. But I said, why not, let's go. And then we actually played that game, and what it got back in the whole thing is that one big thing that it got back, belief in myself and the ability to go and say that yes, I did take that step and I will be able to go ahead and create a global company. That's where I always tell people, saying, one, went from a corporate boardroom to real India, went from a fire accident situation in a factory to actually building a global pharmaceutical company, from a dream which was most India's dream to actually wear the tricolor on your chest and actually go and represent a country. And from then I went on to play 25 international tournaments for India, and here I am building this company only because of the fact that I did take that first step. Now, if somebody were to look at me and say, hey man, you've done all this stuff in the age of all this AI and all these conversations that you're doing, what is it that you would look at talking about. You've done a lot of these boardroom chats. So I call it the ABC formula. Fondly, that's something that I've always told people, which is a very interesting acronym that I've written up for myself, which says, 1, you act with courage, 2, you build with intent, 3, you commit to it with belief. Now, if you're ever able to do these ABCs for yourself, and which I have been able to do for the last 3 journeys of mine, and this probably is going to be the biggest, the way it looks like, is only one thing, which is where I went and took the first step. If you're ever pushing away that going to the gym discussion that we have every new year, it is now. Or if you were to build a business, it is now. If you were to take that decision that you want to do for a long time, it is now. Because life, like a shuttle, moves quicker than what you think. If you take that shot, you don't know what life is going to offer you. It probably may be the biggest ever move that you've ever made. For me, in one line, if I were to tell the audience and myself, it's always been just in time, never just in case. Thank you for having me today. Here I am.